may be able to finally throw away those red phones that have been sitting around for so long.
President Obama last week with Russian President Dmitry Medvedev joking that because of their Twitter accounts, they have no need for the Cold War-era red phone anymore. But that was last week. Then, the Justice Department made an announcement today that made the world feel very red phony all over again. Justice announced today that 10 alleged Russian spies have been arrested, with another suspect still at large. The arrests were made in 4 different American states. The suspects are accused of carrying out deep cover assignments for the Russian government. The result of a multi-year FBI investigation, the suspects are charged with conspiracy to act as an agent of a foreign government. Now, according to the complaint, which reads like a spy novel, the suspects were controlled and directed by Moscow. They allegedly had fake Americanized names. 8 of them acted as married couples. And their assignment was to get in touch with influential Americans and send intel home to Mother Russia. In 2009, the FBI said it intercepted and decrypted a message from Russian intelligence headquarters in Moscow to 2 of the defendants. And the message reportedly said, quote, "You were sent to USA for long-term service trip. Your education, bank accounts, car, house, etc., all of these serve one goal. Fulfill your main mission, i.e. to search and develop ties in policy-making circles in U.S. and send intels to C," presumably center. The complaint says the alleged spies were trained by the Russian Foreign Intelligence Service, successor to the Soviet-era KGB, in intelligence gathering, gaining expertise in foreign languages, agent-to-agent communications, including the use of brush passes, shortwave radio operation, and invisible writing. Also the use of codes and ciphers, including the use of encrypted Morse code messages. Invisible writing! The Justice Department complaint, I'm not exaggerating, it's not hyperbole, it really does read like a spy novel. With the suspects using private wireless networks to communicate with Russian officials. At one point in the complaint, in one meeting, a secret agent was inside a coffee shop on her laptop, while a Russian government official was outside the coffee shop in his minivan, and they were exchanging information. Even the old-style brush pass, a technique of 2 agents secretly handing off information as they brush past each other in public. That was reportedly used in New York's Grand Central Station and in Central Park. Smiley's people could not be reached for comment. Joining us now is Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Perez. Mr. Perez, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about these alleged Russian spies, where they live, where they worked, what their cover looked like?
Well, they were supposed to be just, normal Americans living suburban lives, I guess, to evade any notice from the FBI. They lived in Arlington, Virginia, Roslyn, in Yonkers, New York, Montclair, New Jersey, places that, aren't exactly, glamorous assignments. And they basically just, tried to contact U.S. officials who they thought could provide information about nuclear weapons, about bunker busting bombs, and things, some of the things that you could basically get on Google. So I'm not sure how deep they got into it.
In terms of what we know about them, is it clear yet if they were Russians who were trained to seem American, or were they Americans who were flipped?
Well, the FBI is still working to determine exactly who these people are. It appears that some of them were sent from Russia. They provided fake birth certificates from Canada or from Pennsylvania. There was at least one of the people who were arrested who appears to be a Spanish language reporter for El Diario, which is a newspaper in New York, and apparently she's born in Peru. So at this stage, it looks like most of them are Russian.
Okay. In terms of the techniques that they used, obviously that's some of the salaciousness of this story. I mean, it's a salacious story anyway, but invisible writing, shortwave radio, brush passes. What else can you tell us about the techniques they're accused of using, both to maintain their cover and to send information home?
Right. Well, they were using something called steganography, which is essentially hiding data and information and messages inside images on publicly available websites. For example, in a photograph, for example, you could hide data and information, which can then be decrypted using special software. They also were using some sort of like shortwave radio to send Morse code-like messages back to Moscow or to communicate with each other. So we're talking about stuff that you might see in spy novels, like you said.
Evan Perez, reporter for the Wall Street Journal. As I noted, there's one suspect apparently still at large here, so at least at that level, this story continues. Thanks for helping us sort it out, Evan. Appreciate it.
Thank you.